We were somewhere around Barstow, on the edge of the desert, when the drugs began to take hold.
You're either in or you're out. Right now.
I want to gamble.
I never want to hear those words out of your mouth again.
Gambling is not your problem.
Has anybody ever told you before your bad luck?
Most gamblers, when they go to gamble, they go to win.
Those were my mother's dying words.
When we go to gamble, we go to lose. Show me the money.
Get out of here, man.
Show you the money.
Honestly, let's just go. Let's go to Vegas.
Look at you back in that, Jerry. I want you to say what you would mean it, brother. Show me the money!
It's the Sports Memory Vegas pregame show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Friday college football preview, and it's one of the best weekends of the year in all of college sports. It's rivalry week. I am sporting my alma mater, going up to West Lafayette to play Purdue in the old Oaken Bucket game. But nobody wants to hear about that because we have a full slate of games today that are really, really interesting. And I got some absolutely amazing plays. If you followed me yesterday, you did okay. Lost some unders, won some underdogs. So no surprise, I like unders and underdogs today. But before we get into today's slate, let's jump over to last week because there were some pretty notable results. I kind of got my teeth kicked in some of these big games. The first was Alabama holds off Arkansas. I thought Alabama would absolutely continue to put on a show. They did not. Arkansas really put up a fight. It'll be interesting to see if Arkansas can continue that really good play in the Battle Line Trophy. We'll talk about that later. Can I just say how wrong I was about Oregon? Utah looks real, like real. They are putting up points at an insane rate on a really good Oregon defense. I was super surprised. I had Oregon in about 10 ways to 1. So just crazy. Ohio State, honestly, I think looks like the best team in the country. Don't tell Georgia fans. Ohio State, and maybe that's a little bit of Big Ten bias, but Ohio State just looked absolutely amazing. And then Cincinnati, they covered. They finally covered. I'm going to drop some stats for their game this week here. And then Wake Forest finally looked like the pretenders that they are. Clemson kind of is the Clemson that we thought we were going to get all year. But they looked really good in last week's as well. I know Trevor and Newman are going to get in the college football rankings and the coaching carousel tomorrow. So I'm going to leave that for them, leave a little bit of meat on that turkey for them to get into, and we can jump right into the games. And the first one's an odd one, guys. Honestly, it's a West Coast game on at 9 a.m. in the morning. Like who you don't even have your coffee yet. You haven't even really been able time to get into your groove or get hyped. Boise State, a 3-point favorite, a road favorite against the ranked San Diego State. Now, I've bet there's a few non-traditional teams that I've bet with all year. UTSA, San Diego State, and Fresno State. I've won a ton of money on these guys, and I'm continuing it today. You take the ranked favorite at home. The 9 a.m. start does scare me, honestly. That's super weird. I don't like it, but I'm taking the home-ranked team, and so's Newman, because we're both very smart individuals. Next game we got going is a weird non-rivalry for rivalry week. We got kind of the Kansas State team who put up a really good fight against Baylor. Not enough because I cashed that Baylor ticket. But kind of a feisty. Can we say that? Feisty team in Kansas State against a sinking ship in Texas. That anchor is falling quickly and bringing the boat with it. Absolutely bringing the boat down. So what am I doing? I am just all over Kansas State in this game. I cannot pick Texas ever. So I am absolutely all over Kansas State, especially as a plus money line. I'm not even taking the points, guys. I'm taking Kansas State to win. I don't know about Newman. Newman's also taking Kansas. I don't know if he's going money line or if he's going spread, but he is taking Kansas State as well. Let's move to our first kind of real traditional rivalry game. It's the Heroes game. It's a semi-new rivalry game since Nebraska joined the Big Ten, and it's been very one-sided. Give me Iowa. It's almost at a pick'em. Iowa's actually the underdog here. So what am I doing again, guys? Taking the ranked underdog. This seems bananas to me. I'm getting this at plus money. How? I don't know. Newman always likes to say Vegas knows something more than we do, but I'm not letting that cloud my mind here. I'm taking Iowa at Nebraska. Nebraska knows how to cover, but how do you cover 1 point? That's silly. Take Iowa. I think they win by probably about a touchdown here. All right, so we talk Cincinnati. I know the guys are going to talk Cincinnati tomorrow, but I actually have to bring some statistical analysis on this. I know that's rare for me. But Cincinnati, 14-point favorite going into ECU. Guys, ECU is crazy. They're one of the best tailgates, one of the best party schools. Just the place is going to be absolutely hopping. I mean, hopping. Okay, so I don't like ECU to win, but I like ECU to cover. And here's why. Cincinnati is just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games and 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 road games. East Carolina is 6-1 against the spread in their last 7, 5-1 straight up at home in their last 6. They play really well at home, and they're covering spreads. Cincinnati is not covering spreads and is bad at covering spreads on the road. I got ECU. I've been fading Cincy all year. Some of that's been good. Some of that's been bad. Mostly good. So I'm taking ECU in an absolutely crazy atmosphere. I don't think they pull the upset, but I do think they keep this within 14 points. It's the first game Newman and I disagree with, by the way. He's taking Cincinnati. He's rode Cincinnati all year, and I think that may have cost him a bit. But I'm going ECU to cover. Let's go to our first kind of real rivalry game. Even though Iowa-Nebraska is the Heroes game, we got the Battle Line Trophy here. Really cool rivalry between these two states that share a border, and Arkansas is a 14.5-point favorite. That's a lot of points. It's 2 touchdowns in the hook. And I think the hook is what matters, right? If this was 14 points, I would take Arkansas. I would if this was 13 points. I think this might be a 37-23, a 35-21. I think the hook is what makes this game. Seriously, Vegas is so good. I am taking that hook and taking Missouri. I do think Arkansas wins this game, probably will be in control the whole game, and this is my backdoor cover game. I think Missouri maybe gets a garbage time touchdown to make this a 14-point game and make it seem a lot closer than it was. So that's what I got going on for the Battle Line Trophy. The next game, I guess it's the War on I-4. I live up in Indiana. I've never heard of this, but Newman was like, you gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about Orlando versus Tampa. Honestly, I haven't watched a single second of either one of these guys. So I'm not gonna make a pick. I'm just not gonna do it. I didn't even do the research to do it. But Newman's taking USF, and Newman leads out of me, Trevor, and and him. So sure, I'll go with Newman. 17.5 is a big number. And Newman's taking Tampa to cover. Sure. Let's go with another really cool rivalry. The Buffs versus the Utes. The Utes are giving up 24, which is a huge number. But Utah's playing like a top 10 team right now, guys. They're playing incredible. They're only ranked 19, but I think they're a team on a mission and a team that I wouldn't want to play at all. Not in a rivalry game, not in a bowl game. Newman and I are both taking Utah to cover that big number of 24. The Buffs just really can't score, and Utah is just going to run rampant. Go Utes. All right, let's jump back to the Big 12 in another non-rivalry week game. TCU at Iowa State. This is another game Newman and I disagree on here. And 15's a big. I've been against Iowa State. You guys have heard me. I've called them frauds all year. I don't believe in Iowa State. But Brock Purdy is finally going to graduate, guys. He is finally going to leave. And I think he gets it done on senior day. TCU is coachless, and sometimes that's been a good thing. Sometimes it's been a bad thing. I think Matt Campbell is trying to coach for a promotion. So give me Matt Campbell and Brock Purdy to kind of get this done on senior day at Iowa State. Let's move to another rivalry game. But it's not what you think of. Like when you think of UNC, you think Duke, right? Well, UNC also has another rivalry, and that's with North Carolina State. It's called the Carolina State game, which honestly, not enough marketing majors at either one of those colleges that can come up with anything better than the Carolina State game. Weak. But what isn't weak? I think this might be one of the best games on. I think this is a really, really good game. I think UNC has had their troubles this year, but I do think Sam Howell tries to put it on one more time. So I'm a little torn here, guys, especially with both of these teams. If you followed me all season, I have bet against North Carolina State, and I've won some really, really good money off North Carolina State. And I've also won some good money on going against UNC. So a little bit of a tough one for me. I'm going for UNC, but I don't love it. It's probably the pick I like the least. I think this is going to be anywhere from a 4 to 7 point game, so that 6 is tough. But I'll take the better quarterback versus the better team in this game. Give me Sam Howell, just because maybe I'll be a sucker or maybe I'll be a genius. We'll find out. The last game that I want to talk about is arguably the funnest rivalry, I think, of all the games that I'm covering today, the Apple Cup. My wife and I went to Hawaii a few years ago over Thanksgiving, and we ran into a bunch of Washington alums partying hard at the bar for this game. And I was like, Washington's my new favorite. Washington's my new West Coast team. They were partying, watching the Apple. It was so cool to watch. This is about a pick'em game against WASU. But WASU doesn't have Mike Leach. I know Washington doesn't have a coach either. But again, in a pick game, I'm going off my gut, maybe not so much of my brain. Give me Washington in the Apple Cup. And also Newman's taking Washington State, and I need to gain some games on him. He's not kicking my butt, but I do need to make up some ground on him. So in a pick'em game, I'm going to go opposite of Newman too. So multiple factors going in to the Apple Cup. Guys, rivalry week is so much fun. These games matter so much to these teams. Go and check these out. I know we're all in either food or booze hangovers today. Get on that couch, watch some football. If not, full slate of college basketball too. It should be a wonderful, wonderful day of sports watching. Enjoy, and Newman and Trevor will be on tomorrow.